Hope everyone's doing well. How is everyone doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so one and done yesterday on the challenge account. Nice little play. Could it have been better? Yes. Could it have been worse? Yes. All right, so we take what we can get. Ended up buying puts through this 402.6 level. You full ported calls. Well, it's never good to full port unless it's a challenge account. But take it as a learning lesson. So, right, first of all, downward pressure yesterday. Everything was, trending to the downside. We're breaking the overall trend to the upside. Right? We were moving up like that, right? We bounced multiple times off the trend line. Right, we broke below, we consolidated, we retested, we rejected, right? This previous resistance acted as a support, and then turned into a resistance again, right? We opened up below this support here, and we were pushing to the downside, right? There's a lot of room to run to the downside. Okay, so once we broke 402.6, right, this previous support, that was a previous resistance, right? We just saw that continued pressure to the downside right to the next level, right? The previous double top acted as a support at 400, right? 400 major level, and we broke below it, right? Now we are, right? We consolidated right below it at close, and we even, right, bounced off of that 400 level intraday and then rejected it again intraday. Right, then we created a double bottom here, close to close yesterday, and now we're opening about 0.17% on SPY, 0.23% on QQQ. Let's take a look at what we got today. So, right, we could continue to play the downside. Right, we are a little extended. Right, I'm curious if there's going to be a dead cat bounce, but usually the dead cat bounce we would see a bigger move pre-market. Nice play, awesome, Josh. You bought Tesla puts yesterday based on my numbers. It was awesome, sweet. Keep it up. Right, all you gotta do is just play the numbers. Don't focus on the P&L. Focus on the chart and focus on the setup. That's about it. And you will start to build consistency. So, game plan today for SPY. Let's see. Need to see which way the market moves at open. But if this double bottom that we created yesterday can hold, I mean, calls aren't a bad idea. But if it breaks, puts. VIX was also a huge indication. Right, once that 2254 level broke, we just saw that continued upsides. That was really my trigger for SPY. So that definitely helped build conviction on my SPY put play. And QQQ, very weak chart, right? Clean levels to the upside here, and then we broke below, rejected, pulled back. Right, typical chart. Morning, Andre. Tesla holding calls from yesterday. Oh yeah, we have the FOMC minutes today. Here's the Tesla chart. Right, so yesterday what I was looking for was a hold at this 199 level. Right, previous resistance acted as a support. Right, we also have this trend to the upside here, and I wanted to see a hold here at 199 for a move back up to 208 or so. But we sold off at the end of the day. So what the game plan here is if we approach the lows, I'm cutting the position, right? I'll switch to puts. This is a great area for either calls or puts, honestly, right? Because if we do hold, right, we definitely have some upside to move, right, to 208. That would be the target, right? But if we, move to the downside, 187 is the target. So if this breaks this 197.5 level, I'll switch to puts on Tesla. Deadcat Bounce. Deadcat Bounce is just, a rebound after a huge sell-off day. This is just the minutes today. It's not, the Fed won't be speaking, right? So today's a little different. Right, it's just the minutes. Okay. And then Meta, I took calls at close, right? We have this nice little wedge. We broke out. We rejected that resistance above. We pulled back. And we started kind of flagging here and performing a little retest right above support, right? So my stop loss on this is just a low, 169.7. I'll draw it in red. So my stop loss on these calls is 169.7. I was looking for a breakout and a push through back to the upside to like 181 or so. We'll see what happens, right? Very welcome. But we do have a huge gap to the downside of 169.7 breaks, so be aware of that. Around 161 or so. I need coffee. Big time. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens today with minutes because, right, the market has been, kind of spooked recently about the talk of more aggressive, Fed rate hikes, deal with inflation. This is going to be the first time we hear from the voting members on, of the Fed for rate hikes, right? Bullard and Mester, who spoke recently, they were very aggressive, but they're not voting members. So, right, I'm kind of curious to see what happens today. If they're less hawkish, then it should be pretty interesting. Should be pretty interesting. Let's continue here. Lucid broke down yesterday. Clean break. What about Microsoft? I'll get to it. Coin, I'll get to it. Minutes is 2 p.m. East. 2 p.m. Eastern. Riot. I'm still holding Riot, actually. But if it breaks below 6.13, I'll cut. Right, pretty clean chart. It's just at support. Needs to hold there. Coin is about even. Right, so all the calls and puts are gonna get smacked due to IV crush. Apple, clean breakdown, getting close to testing this 147.83 level, previous support. Need to see what happens. Not really my favorite setup. Need to see what happens at open. No setup here in pre-market. Square, right? Clean breakdown from that double bottom bear flag. Don't really like any setup here this morning. Amazon broke down. Kind of hover. I kind of like Amazon actually to the downside if this breaks. Right, I like how it's consolidating, and then if we do get a push down today through 94.27, we'll test the 93 below. Not my favorite setup though. Right, if there's no good setup, there's no trade. Right, you don't need to trade every day. You know, I say that all the time. You don't need to trade every day. Right, especially on a small account, you kind of want to be a little bit more selective of, you know, what you trade. And today's Wednesday. I typically don't like trading on Wednesdays, so you know, we'll see what happens. It's always better to be patient. What subscription I have? I have the premium or whatever. I don't know really how to see. How do I get to main page? I don't know. I don't know which one I have. I have one of them. I have the last one, the more expensive one. It doesn't really matter. I don't use indicators anyway. I don't really focus on the treasury at all. Okay, AMD looks pretty interesting, right? We have this previous resistance, right? We rejected 3 times, and we're kind of flagging here right off, right at it, right? 76.6. Right, we kind of held pretty nicely. So if this holds, I'm gonna set an alert right here. Right, could be a good opportunity for calls. AMD. Right, I do like this setup for a bounce back up to, you know, this previous 79 level, or even this level up above at 80. AMD definitely has a clean setup. Definitely a clean setup here. Let's see what else we got. Google. All right. Yeah, Ride I looked at just before. Clean chart, we do kind of have a triple bottom here. 6.13 is my stop loss on calls. Below that, let's definitely work. But if it doesn't hold here, then it's kind of done. Microsoft. Just right, look how it moves, right? Every day. Gap down, consolidation. Gap down, consolidation. Gap down, consolidation. Gap down, consolidation. What else do we got? Rivian ain't looking too bad. Pick a bounce here. I don't really like trading Rivian. Dash. Yeah. You know, so I'm just going to stick to, as usual, SPY. See what happens here if it can break. If it can break 400, we should test, right? 402.6. So that would be good for the calls that we entered. And then Tesla, right? Tesla's definitely actually Tesla's gonna be my top watch, I think. If this doesn't hold, I'm gonna enter puts. And Meta just needs to hold 169.7. Set my alert right above it, so I can keep an eye. And that's really it, folks. What is Bitcoin doing? And it's flagging a little bit. I have this double top here. Tesla is just a low. So here's Tesla, right? So that 199 level was the most important. We broke below it at the end of the day. So if it breaks below, 197.5 or this low here, 197.22, puts are definitely gonna pay if it holds below, right? But if I enter at a break here, need it to hold below 199, right? Always have that mindset: if this, then that, right? And don't let the contract P&L scare you out of your position. Right, make sure you size correctly. Don't aim for a home run on your account every single time. Whatever, honestly. Not a challenge account. Okay. So, card. That is the level. That's all that I'm looking for. Appreciate it, Carl. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's really all I'm looking at. Tesla, Meta, AMD. I go into a voice chat on Discord at market open 9:30. Yeah, I go into the voice chat and Discord. Visa, sure. You're welcome. So this is the daily. Huh. See if this lines up. Yeah, so it's starting to break the downtrend. But it is approaching this zone right here, right? Previous resistance, rejected again, rejected twice again, acted as support, right? So big level here at like 218, 217. So if this can hold, then it's fine for upside. But if this breaks, I push back down to the next zone below 204 or so. Meta. Here's the meta chart. Right. Wedge, breakout, retests, sitting right here at above. Very welcome. What SPY is doing here in pre-market. The SPY is actually flagging here in pre-market. Kind of interesting. So we could definitely take calls over 400.23. This breaks, we should push up. We also kind of have multiple bounces off this bottom trend line here, right, that we bounced off of yesterday. Definitely we'll keep an eye on this at open. Okay. But with that being said, that's really all I have to cover today. Not much else. Probably going to be a low activity day with minutes at 2 p.m. Right? Don't get caught trading in the afternoon. Wait until 2 p.m. if you're not trading, you know, within the first hour of the day. How do I pick SPX contracts based off of SPY chart? Just go a few strikes out and you'll never go wrong. Or just look at SPX, right? It's the same thing. Really the same thing. Right, I always go, you know, a few strikes out, something that could potentially hit in the money. Right, if I'm entering at 4,000, I'm gonna take, you know, like a 40-15, or it also depends on the time of the day. Right, if I'm taking it in the morning, you can go further out of the money. But if you're taking it closer to market close, then you want to stay close to the money. Right, so, you know, that's a big factor of what time of day it is. Definitely something to take note of. Okay. I do like this wedge though in pre-market. This could totally break out. But with that being said, we do open here in a few minutes. So let's end it here. Transition to the Discord. And let's have a good day. I will see you guys in the Discord. I appreciate all of you stopping by as always.